Good morning, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching as always. Labour really hate our veterans, there's no way around that. Now, there's a few things I need to get into, so we'll begin with, it's been quite interesting the past week and Labour's response to our war heroes. I, for one, love our army, love our navy, love our armed forces completely, our air force, marines, whatnot. Thank you for your service, put that out there. President Trump made a gaffe, or what many interpreted to be a gaffe, last week regarding NATO, and not thinking that NATO would be there if America needed us. That was his gaffe. And there was a lot of people, like Lady Muck, Emily Thornberry, darling of the Labour Party. She popped up on Question Time last week, and she laid into President Trump all about that. And I'm going to play the clip now because it's so sanctimonious, and then we'll get into what the game is here. Okay, so we'll do this first.
It's so much more than a mistake. It's an absolute insult. It's an insult to 457 families who lost someone in Afghanistan. How dare he say we weren't?
Okay, I'm going to pause this here for a moment. She's not got a point, in my opinion. The reason she's not got a point is her government, Labour's government, Alistair Campbell and Tony Blair, led us into Afghanistan and the Iraq War predicated on a lie. He sexed up a dossier, the dodgy dossier, to get us into a conflict on the premise, a false premise. So none of our war heroes would have been lost if it wasn't for the lies of the Labour Party and the Labour government. Alright? Let's get the facts straight here, sweetheart.
We've always been there. Whenever the Americans have wanted us, we have always been there. I went out to the United States at the beginning of the year, and I had supper with a lot of Republicans who, to be quite honest, I didn't exactly expect to get on with and have a great deal to do with. But the one thing that was clearly there was a genuine affection for the United Kingdom, because they understood they were all military men, and they knew that whenever they had been fighting alongside someone from Britain who had been there to support the United States and be involved in action with the United States. How dare this man, who's never seen any action, who somehow or other, when there was a draft for everybody else in the United States, managed to avoid it, and yet now is Commander-in-Chief and knows nothing about how it is that America has been defended.
He did later apologise, President Trump. He did later apologise. I'll bring that up in a moment also. He did walk it back, and he did specifically refer to Britain as an outlier and separate. But Lady Muck here going on Question Time saying, how dare the American president get things wrong? How dare he? How dare he? How dare you sit on public TV and try to defend Labour's record with our soldiers and our army?
I mean, seriously, it's an absolute insult. We have had a very shocking few days. We've had a very shocking few days. So we have had the leader of Britain's most important ally, with whom we do have a close relationship in terms of defence, in terms of security, strong economic relationship, cultural, historic. America's our friends. But we have had a leader of that country who has behaved in a way which is bullying, which is rude, which has been deliberately trying to undermine us, which has been trying to undermine NATO. And you wonder, where does this end? It's as if he has no anchor. It's as if he has no off button. And what we have done, fortunately, and I'm really proud that we have, is we have linked arms with our other friends and nations, and we have said, no, enough, Donald Trump. No more of this.
So we'll leave that here. But yeah, just to say, Trump did actually apologise, and he did put out a tweet and he did clarify and apologise. The great and very brave soldiers of the UK, United Kingdom, will always be with the United States of America. In Afghan, 457 died, many were badly injured, and they were among the greatest of all warriors. It's a bond too strong to ever be broken. The UK military, with tremendous heart and soul, is second to none, except the USA. We love you all, we always will, President Trump. Well, human rights lawyer Keir Starmer to Keir. I can't claim credit for this. I'm going to play this. This was from Patrick Christie's, and this was earlier on. It wasn't on GB News, but I'll play it now.
huge news has just landed on the Daily Telegraph. Sir Keir Starmer and the Attorney General, Lord Hermer, his great friend, led a witch hunt against Iraq war veterans. Let me give you some of the detail on this. Sir Keir Starmer led a legal case that opened the door to hundreds of British soldiers being pursued for alleged war crimes. What this actually triggered was years and years of criminal investigations into soldiers who turned out to be wrongly accused, including the case of Sergeant Richie Catterall, who was wrongly pursued for 13 years. He'd been found not guilty twice before, and then he was ultimately judged to have acted in self-defence. Part of this is that the allegations cited by Sir Keir Starmer, his esteemed legal mind, turned out to be based on a false document that intended to falsely pin the blame on British troops. But do you want to know the real kicker here? It's the fact that Sir Keir Starmer worked on this case for free. He did it pro bono. You cannot claim the cab rank rule here. This is what he says when he's asked about why he represented IRA terrorists, why he represented Al-Qaeda terrorists, why he represented Hizb ut-Tahrir, the now banned Islamist organisation, in the ECHR to try to lift their ban. Time and time again, the Prime Minister says, well, I was just doing my job. It was the cab rank rule. I don't get to pick and choose my clients. Well, according to his report in the Daily Telegraph, Sir Keir Starmer did this for free.
So we'll leave that here, but I'm going to join the dots in a moment or two regarding all of this, and then we'll pick it up. So I'll join the dots now. So the dots will be joined in a moment or so, but just to clarify a few points. As Director of Public Prosecutions in 2008, Starmer oversaw the Iraq Historic Allegations Team, which probed over 3,000 complaints, many deemed fabricated, by a disbarred lawyer, Phil Shiner. Nice name, I hope he's got a few, if he's discredited now, resulting in no prosecutions, 60 million in costs, and severe mental health impacts on cleared veterans like Richie Catterall, who faced 13 years of scrutiny. That's point of order number one. Point of order number two, he was what is known as an intervener. All right, he was a senior human rights barrister, QC, now KC. He didn't represent the Iraqi claimants directly. He appeared pro bono, publico, for free, on the behalf of intervening third parties, human rights organisations, including the Law Society of England and Wales, Amnesty International, Liberty, British, Irish Rights Watch, and others, including, let's have a look now, with some also link his involvement to Redress and AIRE Centre in related submissions around Baba Musa elements. So there we have it, there's the points of order. Now, the situation is, the media knew all about this. This is public record. So when you join the dots of what's happening here, you've got President Trump making a mistake, you've got Labour getting on their soapbox and saying, we love the army, we love our soldiers, we love this, we love them, God bless the veterans, getting very sanctimonious with the American president. And then we have this pass, which is legislation that Keir Starmer's bringing in. Starmer has passed legislation to prosecute former British soldiers. He has done nothing but far more damage to our armed forces than Trump's name-calling. Labour withdraw protections for Northern Ireland troops in sickening betrayal of service. That's what Keir Starmer's done. And then we find out this, all of this stuff. I didn't know anything about this, but the media did. They're painting a narrative that Labour cannot be trusted with the army, Labour are sick, Labour are evil, they are anti-British. All of that's true. It's very cynical the way that they're doing it. And then obviously yesterday, we had Reform UK saying we're going to pardon everybody, all the soldiers, they're all going to get pardoned. See the narrative that's being painted. Before we're going to pardon the soldiers, you can't trust Labour, and you can't trust them bashing Trump either. These are my thoughts, this is the narrative. Point of the matter is, Keir Starmer should be in prison, he should be in jail, he should be in the Tower for treason, acts against the realm. This is sickening, this is disgusting, and this is wrong. Just be very wary of the cynical way that the media plays it all. Alright. That's why I didn't jump on the Trump thing straight away about the veterans, because I knew there was going to be more to it. I like to see how things play out over the few days, and then I'll pontificate when a clearer picture emerges. Now, if you like this video, and you think I'm onto something with the way that the media spin the narrative, make me aware. As always, do all that good stuff, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. You have a good day.